Knon 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people.
Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Marion Barnett Jr. filling in this morning for Marion Sr., who's out of town. We want to make sure we pray for him for his safe return. It is March 29th, 2014. March 29th, 2014. And I first want to start by saying happy birthday to my mother. Her birthday was yesterday, and I know she was elated to see another year. And I want to say a special happy birthday to her. Also, a happy birthday to my daughter. Her birthday is Wednesday, Tatiana. Happy birthday. She's turning the big 13, so she thinks she's a grown up, but not really. There's a lot of things to talk about this morning. This morning we're going to have an open forum. We're going to do an open forum. This show is all about you. Church information and open forum. So got a lot of things to talk about locally this morning. So make sure you guys go ahead and get your fingers ready to dial. The number to call is 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Call in, a lot of things to talk about. Tell me what's on your mind this morning. There's a couple of things going around with the Dallas home rule with DISD. They're trying to take over the board. The state wants to move in, take over the board. It's $1.2 billion annually at stake. Call in and tell me what you think about this. What can be done? I don't think the board, the teachers, those who hold positions have a say in this. However, it looks like the state is going to move forward with it. So make sure you call in, 972-647-1893. Let's talk about this. Let's dialogue. Tell me what you think. Also, there's a 5-cent rule for bags when you go to the local grocery store now. If you get a certain amount of bags to carry your groceries, you might have to pay an extra 5 cents per bag. This is one of those rules that being presented for the Dallas County. Call in and tell me what you think about that as well. You know, I do disagree with this personally, to pay 5 cents extra. But, you know, call in and tell me what you think. Are there too many bags on the street? Is it making our community look dirty? I mean, should we have to pay extra to be cognitive of the trash bags that are around us? Again, call in 972-647-1893. Also this morning, call in, and I want to pose a question after you make your call and comment. What is your definition of a man? What is your definition of a man? Looking at the news, a lot of things in our community stem from either the interaction of a man or a lack thereof, and many people I hear and I talk to have their own perception of what it takes to be a man, and if you are following these rules or these guidelines, then you're on the path to being a man. You are deemed more manly. But I want to hear your call and comment this morning. You know, I'm pretty sure we all have our own ideals and our own perceptions. So I'll hold mine to the end on that. So what is your perception of a man? Now, I know there are many boys, and I'm not talking about the boy. I'm talking about the full-blooded man. The man that God speaks of. So what is your perception of a man? We always are dialoguing and talking about what men should do, what this man is not doing, and Some people feel that you can be a great father and but still less than a man. So give me a call, 972-647-1893. Again, going back to the DISD school board, they are trying to home rule DISD. And simply what that means is that the state will take over DISD, and it will become a private entity. A private entity, which means they'll be governing. We won't need a school board. So the school board will be gone. We won't need it. The $1.2 billion annually that the school board governs will go over to the state. And basically they'll turn all our schools into charter schools, and the state will be handling this. Should we let the state take over? We are one of those red states. We do have a say in what we need to do. However, with this particular situation, I'm not sure if it's going to come down to a vote. Over the last 20, 30 years, the Dallas School Board has always been under fire about which direction it needs to go in, which area should be attended to more, the south or the north. Should the buildings be built? The money that is being turned over hand over fist with DISD is just amazing. So the state is looking at moving in. So make sure you call in and comment on it. Tell me what your views are, what you think of this situation. That number again is 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. We already got some callers calling in, so I don't want to hold them up. So let's say good morning to line 2, Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. How are you?
Good morning. God bless you.
God bless you, too.
And I hope you have a good day in the Lord. I didn't get the last part of your announcement, but I do believe that the schools are not really presenting what the kids need. And they're kind of lackadaisical about that. And
okay, so are you for the state taking over?
And you said, what is a man? No.
Oh, you're not for the state taking over?
Well, maybe they can do some good changes. I don't know. I didn't get that last part of your announcement, sir.
Oh, okay. But, you didn't hear that part.
But do you think? I think that it would be good if the state took over and had security guards and more policemen in the schools.
Well, is the state taking over for educational purposes, for security purposes, or is it because Dallas is the top school as far as the budget goes? Dallas holds 1.2 billion, in their budget, and the state would love to get their hands on that money.
Oh, wow. Well, we don't need to do that. That sounds like the communists, taking over.
Well.
But anyway, my little granddaughter the other night, I know how to drag stuff out of people, by asking them a certain question. And she looked up at her mother and she said, yeah, I've been approached by, she's 12 and a half. I've been approached by drug dealers at school.
Wow.
And she's in the 7th grade.
Wow.
And she said, but we have a policeman, and he's my friend.
Right. Now, this is a DISD student?
No, that's a Mesquite student.
Ah, Mesquite. Okay.
Yeah, but I'm sure it's just like that in Dallas.
Right.
And, well, she said the policeman is her friend.
Right.
And what really got me was the fact that she said if anybody approaches her, she just flips them off and goes on.
Oh, wow. Okay. And this is your granddaughter or your daughter?
She's only 12 and a half, yeah.
Okay.
That's my granddaughter. That's the only grandchild I have.
Okay.
But I've been trying to talk her into either going to the police academy. And she And my daughter will start screaming, no, 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 I don't want my daughter out there. And I said, the women are accompanied by a couple of men police officers.
Mm-hmm.
She never goes out alone. She's either with 2 or 3 police officers. But
Right.
she has her own car.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to work for the Dallas Police Department back in the 80s through the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
And I know what it's like to go out, you know, and do things. I was in narcotics.
Oh, wow.
And
Okay.
I had a partner. But what they called us was shotgun squads. And I think they call them now SWAT teams.
Right.
So I was kind of part of one of those.
Okay.
And
Well,
but anyway, I thought that would be a good thing for her to learn how to protect herself, because she what happens is she gets she's very intelligent. She has high language, very high intelligent words that she uses.
okay. Well, good.
That comes from her mom and dad,
Mhm.
and he's very intelligent, her daddy.
Right.
But his dad left him when he was 5 and became gay and married another guy. And this has hurt my son-in-law very badly through his life.
Right. Well,
But
Sherry,
he's very-
I don't
very
want to.
intelligent.
I don't want to interrupt you, but however,
Yeah.
I do want to stay on the topic.
Oh, wait!
Yeah.
You said, "What is a man?"
Right. And the
My
last
dad taught us that a man is a person that loves God with all his heart, looks after his family, a man of integrity, a man that knows about principles.
Mhm.
You know, if you tell somebody you're going to do something, you do it. And the integrity, no lying, no stealing, no cheating. And that's what I think about a man.
All right. Well, thank you for your call and comment, Sherry.
Well, God bless you,
God
and
bless you,
I'm
too.
enjoying your program today.
All right, thank you. All right. Again, we were talking about a few things this morning. We're talking about the DISD home rule. DISD apparently being taken over by the state. There's $1.2 billion at stake with the budget, Dallas budget. This simply means that they won't need the school board anymore. The state will be making all of the decisions. So we won't be able to go down to the school board and make our recommendations. Our children won't have a say. The parents won't have a say. Is this a good thing? Is this a bad thing? Please call in with your comment. I'd love to hear from you this morning. We're just doing a straight open forum this morning. Anything you want to talk about, we can talk about. However, we do have a theme. Also, call in and let us know, what's your definition of a man? I'll hold my opinion to the end. What's your definition of a man? That number is 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. And let's go back to the phone lines. Let's say good morning to Gerald on line 3. Good morning, Gerald.
Good morning. How you all?
Good. Yourself?
I wanted to make a comment on this Dallas board. You know, this Dallas board, ever since I moved to Dallas permanently in '92, I always come here as a kid in the summer and all. But it always been a board of a joke.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have the superintendent stealing, well, then you have the board, as the ladies say, being like you're lazy and all about getting things done and just sitting there making a big check. You know, what I recommend for Dallas DISD to do is get a citizen review board like they did the police department. Remember when the police department was just running wild and just doing things and havoc, and till we got the John Wally Price and the other teams to get out there and they came up with the citizen review board to overwatch and make sure that they're doing things accordingly. You know, and with DISD, they need to get out and make the parents become more responsible of the kid.
Yeah, but Gerald, let me ask you that. How do you make the parents become more responsible?
By making sure that their kids keeping the tally on what they're doing, keeping, Garland. They have a system that they call and let the parents know about the kids, the activity, or what they're doing in school and all, and I'm hoping they're still doing it. They call and let them know about the activity, the grade system and all. But they put the responsibility back on the kids, too, that if the parents sign them kids in or the kid not in school, they call the parents and let them know right away. They don't wait till 2 or 3 weeks or to have a meeting with the parents. They call them right away and let them know that the kid is not performing, they're not participating, they're not coming to school, especially absent and tardiness. They let them know right away, but they also don't fine the parents like they used to do. Like they do here in Dallas, they put the responsibility on the kid to find them, and it worked because of from firsthand experience with an ex-girlfriend. When the judge put the fines, imposed the fine back up on the kid, she started going to school. And there's this task test. I don't think they still doing that. You can miss school 6 weeks at a time and come in and take that test and pass the test, and you're gone. They need to take away of that, you know.
Well, that's part of the No Child Left Behind. And also, let me comment on the I'm a former DISD member myself. So the as far as when the child missed school, DSD do contact the parents. They also have a truancy rule. Now, you are correct, and the parent is fined, and that's how their way of getting the parent involved. If you find the parent will do their best to get involved. But they do send, if a child misses a class, you automatically get a phone call, let them know that you're late. As well as if the child missed school, you also get a phone call that same day to letting you know. Now, as far as getting the parents involved, I think that's a community-based thing because we are not united within the community.
It's not being proactive as it can be.
Right. A lot of us, when growing up, we knew our next-door neighbors. Nowadays, a lot of people don't know that my next door neighbor could take out their bed and whoop me if need be.
No, can't do that. The judge chastised me for almost getting ready to diss my ex-girlfriend daughter for cussing her mom out, and I let her that I know I was about to go to jail.
Wow. Okay.
No. But she told me, she chastised me, but at the end she stated that she understands and she can't do that nowadays. You cannot put your hands on no other child, and then the girl knew that. And I said, well, you think you finna let this girl come to my house and she truants and messing with guys and this and that? I said, ain't no way in the world.
Right. Now, Gerald, quick question, because we got to go to break. 2 questions.
Okay.
Go ahead and answer these for me. So are you for the state taking over DISD, or are you against it?
I'm for a little bit of overseeing it, say about 90 days to 180 days overseeing it, but also you got to watch them. Our governor ain't worth a darn about the education system. He just placed in position over the state education director who he want, and that is just to profit and pocket his buddies with money. Okay,
good. And also, what is a man to you?
Well, a man to me is a man that believing in God and doing as Scripture state. Number one is, I would say a man is not to curtail of what a man should be as this homosexuality allowing it to carry on. Anybody for that, they out of their mind. Okay. There's no doubt about it.
All right, well, we up against a short break. So, Gerald, thank you for your call and comment. We up against a short break. We'll be right back again. We're talking about Dallas ISD. We're talking about anything you want to talk about. It's an open forum this morning. I'm Marion Barnett Jr., hosting this morning, and we'll be right back. All right, good morning. It's March 29, 2014. I'm Marion Barnett Jr., filling in for Marion Barnett Sr., who's out this morning. He's out of town, so we want to pray for his safe return. This morning, we are having an open forum. It's your day to call in and let's talk. We can dialogue about anything you want to dialogue about. I raised a couple of points in the first half of the show. We talked about Dallas ISD and the home rule. And I made the mistake of saying the state taking over. It's not the state. It's a private entity, where they're sitting around a petition asking you guys to sign. The name of this called Support Our Schools. Support Our Schools. It's a bunch of people with money who want to take over this $1.2 billion, not million, $1 billion budget for DISD. And they want you to sign up to say support our schools. They want to take the decisions from the parents and the school board away, so they can come in and have their way with our students. So give me a call this morning. Let's dialogue. Let's talk about this. Also, I brought up the notion of the 5-cent bag rule. If you go to the grocery store, it's a possibility that you could be charged an additional 5 cents per bag. Additional 5 cents per bag. Tell me how you feel about this. Well, do you feel we should pay an extra 5 cents per bag based on how many groceries you have? Should they start taxing us for that? Also, I posed a question when you call in. Also, tell me what a man is. I hear a lot of people always talking about what a man should do, what a man should think, and how what a man should walk. A man. Call in and tell me, what's your definition of a man? What's your definition? We have plenty of people who have their own version, and I hold my thoughts to the end. But give me a call this morning, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. And let's go back to our phone line this morning, and let's say good morning to line 4, Ike. Good morning, Ike. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
Just fine. Yourself?
Doing good. You're doing a fine job. I like it when you come on the show when your dad is taking your dad's place and stuff. So I missed you.
Oh, thank you.
I haven't heard you in a while. But first of all, let me touch on this DISD. It's not the state like you just said. It's
right. Private entity.
Basically, it's the mayor, and the mayor would be over the school district, not the school board, and
right.
It's like the mayor is trying to hijack the school system, through private entities. This support our schools. It got to be something they can do about this legally, because the way they presenting this thing is it's like this bad information or false advertisement, because it's not to support our schools. It's really to take over our schools, and it's going to hurt the teachers. One of the rules they want to have in this thing is teachers have rights. When you try to fire a teacher, you got to go through some different channels
right.
to that, and they have rights, and people have to look at this to make sure that the people trying to fire them are not just taking personal issues.
Mm-hmm.
But if they pass this home rule school thing, then you can just fire a teacher for no reason.
Right.
It's not right.
Well, it's a petition that they're sending around, though, so it has to be signed, approved by us almost,
right.
in a sense. But they trying to trick us with the name will support our schools.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of like false advertisement. It's like, they're not telling us the truth about it, and they're going and telling you supporting the teachers and you supporting the students and you supporting your schools, but really, it's taking it. Because
right.
if you vote, what they're asking us to do is, if they get the petition, then they get the board in place where they're going to have a commission come in and write up the charter. Then they're going to put the charter before the voter.
Right.
And if we vote on it, then what we are voting is to take away our rights. They want us to vote to take away our vote. And it's kind of insane.
Yeah.
So, I'm glad so many people are on top of this, and I'm glad they didn't wait till the last minute to get on top of it.
Are they? Are they? Do you feel like a lot of people are aware of that this is a ploy to take away the rights?
Right. I think a lot of people are catching on to it. I talked to several people, including your dad and, Miss Ranger. They're on top of it, and Miss Carla Ranger. So they own this. It's not well known like it should be, but they are putting the information out because there's too many teachers don't know what's going on. That's the problem, Once you get your teachers involved, your PTA involved, and the people that work for DISD, whether they are custodians or they are whatever they do, maintenance, they need to all get involved. But their job is involved in this. It's more than just students, it's about education.
Right.
But with us, it's about education. With them, it's about it's $1.something billion. You know. Now we talk about just like we talking about this 5%. I mean, it's 5 cents on each trash bag.
Right.
I got a big issue with that. You know, you got people struggling, a lot of people on fixed income, and now you're going to come in and charge them 5 cents a bag. Now, I live over here by this new Walmart they built.
Okay, over there, Leadbetter.
Right.
Uh-huh.
Now, if they kick this rule in, and that's not, I don't think it's Dallas County, I think it's Dallas City.
Yes, Dallas
City Council down there. So what's going to happen with me, I'm going to protest it in a way that I live by this new Walmart. I think it's a great thing. But if they keep this in, I'm going to start driving down to Lancaster Walmart and buy my groceries, and because I'm not going to pay that 5 cents a bag because I think it's ridiculous. And plus, they're charging me 5 cents a bag. I think it starts in January. But now if I save all my bags and don't throw them away, are they going to give me any kind of deposit on these bags? No. They ain't going to give me a dime, but they're going to charge me they're going to sell me something that they won't buy themselves.
Right.
I think it's a stupid idea, and I think it's really going to hurt a lot of people. You know, you can come up with a better recycle plan or something, because we went through this big thing about Dallas trying to, over there at the McComas dump site, where they tried to put a monopoly on all the trash coming out of Dallas, and they had to go there. You couldn't contract, you know, your dump site out anywhere. All the trash come out of Dallas had to go to McComas. They lost that in court. And I think they're going to lose this in court, and I hope they do. But on that, I'm going to let somebody else come on there and have they say so. And God bless you and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you for your call and comment.
Thank you.
Again, we were talking about a couple of things this morning, talking about Dallas ISD, the private entity Support Our Schools, is petitioning to take over Dallas ISD, which takes the rights away from the parents, takes the right away from the school board. And if I'm not mistaken, the mayor of Dallas is behind this all the way. He's behind this. Also, I believe I was told a couple of board members are part of this private entity as well. They gave it the name Support Our Schools because they have to send around a petition for parents to sign off on. And, of course, if they tell you the whole truth, nothing but the truth, you may not feel great about it. Again, it's a private entity that wants to take over the $1.2 billion budget for the DISD schools and take the rights away from parents. So give us a call this morning, 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Also, we're discussing the 5 cent rule for the bags. 5 cent rule for the bags. If you go to the grocery store next year, you may be, if you have extra bags, you may be paying 5 cents per bag, 5 cents per bag, in addition to your own grocery list. Also, we want to push the April 26th, City Hall Plaza. There's a rally going on April 26th at 10 a.m., City Hall Plaza, April 26th. So make sure you put that in on your things to-do list, April 26th, 10 a.m., City Hall Plaza. So let's go back to our phone lines this morning. Y'all go ahead and give us a call. We're doing open forum this morning, so give us a call. We're dialoguing this morning. I did raise a couple of questions regarding DISD, regarding the 5 cent bag rule. Also, what is a man to you? What is a man to you? And at the end, I'll give my thoughts on that. And let's go back to our phone line. Let's say good morning to Tony. Good morning, Tony. How are you?
Good morning. How you doing?
Just fine. And yourself?
All right. I want to talk about this home rule.
Okay.
Now, it is amazing to me that conservative Republicans are pushing this because one of the tenets is that, they want local control of school districts. One of the reasons they argued that years ago because of Brown was Board of Education. They didn't want state and federal people telling them what to do.
Right.
Now they're coming around in a roundabout way and saying, well, we want control of the school from the state position. And the gentleman that called before, and this is why it's in the paper, can't say it's correct or not, but it's 2 sections to controlling this home rule. Part of it is the mayor can control it. The other part is a committee that the school board chooses. One of the Republican representatives has been arguing that it's going to be teachers and local people in control of this committee. That's not true. I can choose Ron Kirk, who kids, one of the daughters went to Dallas Public School, but it was in high school, to be part of this committee. And he's local, and he's a local parent, and still control the board. Now, it is amazing to me, like I said, is that they now say, well, what we want to do is take local control out of the local hands, and to say they want to control the school district, to change it. If you look at every study and every average, there are great charter schools. There's no question. It's like a great public school. But on average, charter schools don't do any better than public schools when you come to educating kids. And then, when you compare charter schools to public schools have a way of cherry picking, or they get to choose what kids come in, like a lottery system.
Right.
Whereas I guarantee you that charter schools do not have the most extreme special ed kids in their schools. That they have the ones who are level at a certain level where they can come to a charter school where they can get some money from state and federal, but they don't have the student pay. So you cannot compare charter schools to public schools, because public schools I think everybody, no matter what situation education over in. Charter schools don't. And I think what happened last week in Northwest Dallas was those parents who were white were saying, wait a minute, you take no control away from me, but you telling me that this new school program or whatever we try to put together, so we can make the Dallas schools better. And the problem with that is that they're trying to get that 25,000 signatures from North Dallas.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they're pushing real big in North Dallas.
And the thing is, what we're doing is we're sitting back. And the fact that the gentleman that called earlier said is, what about the teachers? What about the custodial people? They don't necessarily stay in Dallas.
Dallas, right. A lot of them live in the suburbs.
But the problem is they're so ignorant to the fact that is if they get this, their salary's going to be cut to the point where they're going to quit and go to the suburbs anyway. So now you're losing more experienced teachers, because if you ain't going to pay me what I'm making now, why would I stay in Dallas Public, whatever school system is going to be if they pass it? And all of a sudden now you have teachers making I'd say $30,000, something like that. Mm-hmm. Now, the level of teachers have went down, and now you got the same problem you had before it was a public school. And I'll leave you with that. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your call and comment, Tony. Thank you for your call and comment. Okay. The level, he's made a valid point. The level of education of the teachers may go down, which means the level of the students will go down. This morning we are talking about the home rule for Dallas ISD, as well as talking about other things. Anything you want to talk about? So we have an open forum this morning. Also, you may be paying an extra 5 cents per bag when you go grocery shopping next year. So we're talking about that as well. Call in with your call and comment. The number is 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Also, April 26th is the rally, is the City Hall rally at 10 a.m. at City Hall, of course, 10 a.m., April 26th. So make sure you're there. Put that on your calendar. Schedule it. Want to make sure you come out in great numbers. Also, with the petition, make sure you do not sign that petition. Make sure you do not sign that petition asking for the private entity. It's called Support Our Schools to Take Over. And that rally, it's over the charter school system. That rally is against the home rule for the charter school system. It's at April 26th at 10 at City Hall. So make sure you come out. If you haven't heard about it, they're really pushing the bill in North Dallas. The mayor is backing this, along with some other board members, the people with a lot of money to put into it. So be wise about what we're doing. So make sure you guys call in with your call and comment. Again, the number is 972-647-1893. We're up against a short break, but I'll get right to your calls as soon as we come back. Again, I'm Barnett Jr, your host, and this is Church Information in Open Forum. All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Marion Barnett Jr. filling in this morning for Marion Barnett Sr., who's out of town this morning. So we want to pray for him on his safe return. Also, again, I wanted to wish my mother a happy birthday. She had a wonderful birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Mom. Also, happy birthday, Tatiana, my daughter, who's turning 13 this Wednesday. It's just a great time, and it's a great season for birthdays, and it's the spring, and it's getting warm outside. There's a lot of things going on in the Dallas area. This morning, we are talking about a few different things. The most popular thing that we're talking about this morning is the private entity Support Our Schools, which are trying to take over the Dallas ISD. And what this means is we won't need the school board trustees anymore. Also, the mayor's backing this. We do have a couple of board trustees that's a part of this group. So I'm not sure if you saw the petition. They are petitioning that you signed the petition for this private entity to take over the DISD school district. So make sure you guys call in with your call and comment. Also, we're talking about the 5-cent rule on the bags. This time next year, you could be very well paying an additional 5 cents per bag, along with your groceries, depending on how many bags you get. I know some people are disgruntled about it. Some people may not care one way or another. But call in with your call or comment. That number is 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. And we are doing an open forum this morning. So this show is all about you this morning. Call in with your call and comment. And let's go to our phone lines this morning to line 3. And let's say good morning to Jill. Good morning, Jill.
We lost her.
Jill, call back. We lost you this morning. We called back. 972-647-1893. Let's go to our phone line to line 4 and say good morning to Bill. Good morning, Bill. Did we lose Bill too?
Yeah, they were on hold on.
Okay. All right. Jill and Bill, give us a call back. You won't be on hold that long. All right. Well, let's keep it going. Let's say good morning to line 1. Good morning, Anthony.
Yes, sir.
How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing fine. How are you, sir?
Just fine. Go ahead with the call and comment.
I would like to comment on a couple of things. As far as the school and the money, I'll bring two things to mind. You remember what happened when the mayor decided about Fair Park? You remember how that went down? And you also remember what happened when the mayor decided that we needed that old ugly bridge we got over there on the other side of town?
Right.
Big waste of money.
Waste of money.
Big waste of money. As far as the schools, I think that there should be 3 people on the board. Not 3 people, but 3 groups of people.
Okay.
First of all, I think they should find someone that's been doing something good for the community as far as taking people in and feeding them at the commission, at the missions and stuff.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because these people have seen firsthand what poverty looks like.
Right.
They know what people need because they see it every day. And if it's in their heart good enough to help these people, then it also be good enough in their heart to make decisions to help the kids.
Right.
Now, second of all, everybody always gets asked, but the kids. I think that there should be some of the kids on the committee.
Are you speaking of high school kids?
I'm speaking kids in general.
Kids in general.
You'd be amazed at what you can learn off of kids. If you ask a kid what would it take to make the classroom more learnable to you, I would almost be willing to bet that a lot of them would have a lot of decent answers. You're going to have the jokesters, You're going to have the ones that's going to say something silly, but you're also going to have some that's going to say something like, well, this class I know we need this class, but it's boring. So, why don't we do this or do that to make it more interesting?
Okay.
Kids have ideas. You remember back when you was a kid, you had some boring classes.
This is true.
We all did.
It's true.
So I think that they should be more of a part. And the third group that I think should be on the committee should be the PTA. There should be a top member from a PTA from every school should be on the committee. And that would create that board instead of turning it over to people we know nothing about.
Okay, so let's go over again. So your three groups of people to be on the board should be PTA members, a kid, and what was the first one?
Someone that's in an authoritative position over something like a mission, or somebody that does something for the needy.
Okay. Now, since the board is voted on by the people, that would take. Are you saying take away the vote and we vote and we choose to just put someone in that capacity in it, or are you saying keep the vote?
Because I would feel that those people would be more honest than people that we don't know anything about. Because you know, not all people say all politicians are dirty, but I don't really believe that. You know, I was always raised that you judge a person by their actions.
Okay.
And, you know, here in Dallas, we have a lot of people that have real bad action.
Okay. So you almost for this support our schools?
No, I'm 100% against it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you saying take away the vote and put it into the hands of the three groups you just named. Authoritative position, a child, and PTA member.
That's right. A PTA member from every school. Get some of the kids involved, and a person that's even if it's a doctor, you know, some of these doctors at some of these hospitals, they talk to some of these kids that come in, you know, that's had a hard life, and, you know, they seem to understand what they're going through, and sometimes they have real good solutions on how to help them.
Right. Okay.
You know, they are some of the people that help kids turn their lives around.
Right. Okay. And how do you feel about paying 5 cents extra on a bag next year?
I figure that there's one solution to that.
Mm-hmm.
If they do it, when you buy your groceries the first time, you know, plastic bags are pretty small.
Mm-hmm.
Take you about 10 of them, roll them up, and put them in your pocket. Walk in the store when they ring up your grocery, just take it and set your grocery in it. And tell the city you don't want to pay a 5-cent tax.
Okay. Well,
that's how you do that. Now, as far as a man, what is the definition of a man?
Mm-hmm.
Well, when God created man, he gave him the knowledge to know the difference between right and wrong. It's installed in his heart, his mind, and in his soul. And one job of a man is to be the leader. That means that he is the leader, the provider, and the protector of his family. And he's also the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once he gets married, his wife shares that. Right. You know, because we know that she picks up off of him. Now, we got some pretty smart women out there, but still, you know, that's what a man's job is.
Okay. Well, Anthony, thank you for your call and comment. We got to get back to our phone lines, all right? Thank you for your call.
I so appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good morning.
You too. Again, this morning we're talking about a few different things. We're talking about DISD. It's a private entity called Support Our Schools, supported by the mayor that wants to get our citizens of Dallas to sign a petition for them to take over and do away with the trustees on the board. So give us a call at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Give us a call this morning. We are dialoguing about that. And I'm going to keep it going. Let's say good morning to line 2. Good morning, Jeff. How are you this morning? No, Jeff?
No.
All right. Jeff, give us a call back. Jeff. I'd love to hear from you. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Jay. Good morning, Jay. Yeah, Jay gone too? Must be something wrong with our system. Jay, give us a call back. 972-647-1893. Again, we're talking about Dallas ISD. The group called Support Our Schools is petitioning to take over the Dallas ISD Independent School District. Of course, it's not a great thing. It's one of those things that they're really pushing out in the northern part of the sector of Dallas. In the southern sector, I have heard about it. I hope our people are aware. I've talked to a few people who are aware, who are not aware. But it's really up to our parents. Sometimes they really hone in on the ignorant. They hone in on the ones who are not aware through an email about, hey, sign this petition. It'll help your child this way and that way. And sometimes people are just, before they read between the lines, they'll jump right on it and sign it. So they're looking for about 25,000 votes. Not sure where they are. It's been in talks for about a month now. So make sure you guys are aware and give us a call at 972-647-1893. This show this morning is about you. It's an open forum. We're dialoguing. We're talking about anything you want to talk about. I just threw out a couple of topics. Of course, DISD and the 5-cent bag rule. When you go to the grocery store in January of 2015, it's a good chance you'll be paying an additional 5 cents per bag in addition to your groceries. How you feel about being charged an additional 5 cents? A couple of callers called in and gave a few suggestions. Save your bags now and go in, and when it's time for you to get your groceries, put out your own bags. Now those plastic bags do wear out, so that's only going to save you a couple of times. They do wear out. They run thin. So another caller said they go down the street to a different city, Lancaster. DeSoto is not far. That could put a dent in their pockets with that as well. And anytime you affect people's money, you affect their decisions. So these are just some options of things that are to come. Also, I pose a question: what is a man? What is a man to you? A lot of people are always talking about what a man is to them. They're always, and a lot of times it's not men that are saying, hey, a man's supposed to do this, a man's supposed to do that. Call in with your calling coming. I'd love to hear your opinion on that. And I hold my thoughts to the end. Okay? But again, Dallas ISD, 5-cent bag rule, and what is a man, of the three topics. If you got some issue you want to pose a question about, feel free to do so. April 26th is the rally for the Dallas ISD charter schools. This is a rally going on at City Hall, April 26th at 10 a.m. 10 a.m. So pencil that in, put that on your schedule. Let's show up and show out in numbers. We clearly understand that numbers always win. So make sure you guys show up. April 26th, 10 a.m. at City Hall. This is the rally. This is the rally for the DISD in response to the mayor's attempt to take over Dallas ISD. All right. So, and let's go back to our phone lines. Let's say good morning to line one, Sherry. Good morning, Sherry. How are you?
Fine. How are you this morning?
Doing just fine.
Good. I wanted to make a comment on the 5 cents thing on the bags. Mm-hmm. I heard you just say that the plastic bags, they run out, then they wear out. What I had started doing a while back is purchasing those little cloth bags. Okay. At the time, they were like 50 cents a piece, and every time I would go to the store, I would, buy a bag here, buy a bag there, and I would still get the plastic bags as well. But now I have so many of the cloth bags that whenever I go to the grocery store, I always take those. I don't even get the plastic bags anymore.
Okay. So you have a nice selection of cloth bags that you can use regardless.
Because they don't wear out, you can wash them, and you can reuse them. It's helping with, saving the planet. It's, I don't have to recycle plastic bags or anything like that. So, it's a good idea if, every now and then a person could just purchase one of those cloth bags and just, not every time, but just, until this happens. They could just buy a cloth bag here or there, and then before you know it, you have 10 or 12 bags. And when you go to the grocery store, you don't have to buy.
Oh wow! Okay.
Expensive bag.
Now, where did you get your cloth bags from?
You can buy them from any grocery store. They have them at Walmart. Mm-hmm. They have them at they're not cloth at Tom Thumb, but they do have an alternate bag. Okay. They're a heavy duty type plastic thing that they don't wear. I have some of those too. I have a gang of them, and I use them.
And you said about 50 cents per bag?
Huh?
You said about 50 cents per bag?
cents a bag. Sometimes you might have to pay $1. It depends on what store that you actually go into. But at Walmart, they were like 50 cents a bag. They were $1 a bag at one time, but then they went down to 50 cents a bag. So I don't know how much they are now because I have so many of them, I don't even have to purchase them anymore. I just use the ones that I bought over the years, and when I go to the grocery store, I use them at whatever store I go to.
Right. Well, hey, thank you for your call and coming and enlightening us on what we need to do as far as taking over those bags. So do you have anything else as far as Dallas ISD?
Well, I'm totally against that.
Okay.
And I just wanted to mention that there was a guy at one of the, because I catch public transportation, and there was a guy on one of the at one of the train stations, and he had this petition that was going around. And he was actually telling people, he was giving people the opposite impression that this was something, like you said earlier, this is something that's going to help. This is going to be something that's going to be beneficial to everyone. He wasn't getting down to the nitty-gritty and telling people exactly what this was about. So people really need to be aware of what this is, because if you're not, you can be taken and you can be had, and you'll be signing something that you really will wind up regretting that you signed.
Right. All right. Sherry, thank you for your call and comment.
Have a blessed day.
And you too. All right. We up against a short break. Those callers that are on hold, just hold 1 second. We'll get right to you. This is Church Information in Open Forum. I'll be right back. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is Church Information in Open Forum. I am Marion Barnett Jr., your hosting this morning, filling in for Marion Barnett Sr., who's out of town this morning. We are talking about a few things this morning. We're talking about Dallas ISD, the private entity support our schools, backed by the mayor attempting to take over DISD. Also, we're talking about the 5-cent bags that you could possibly be paying extra for this time next year when you buy your groceries. Also, what is a man to you? What is a man to you? What is a man to you? Make sure you guys are calling in. This is an open forum today where the show is all about you. The number to call is 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. If you call in, just please hold. I'll get right to you. Again, the show's all about you this morning, so give us a call. Now, let's go to our phone lines right now and say good morning to line 3, Joe. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Doing just fine.
Well, my comment on the 5-cent plastic bags should be about $1.
Really?
That's right.
Okay.
I'm a 72-year-old woman. I'm just sitting here looking out my window now. I got out there yesterday morning, picked that crud up. I got to go right back out there today and do it again. So maybe if it was more, they wouldn't throw them out.
You wouldn't throw them out. So
yeah, I mean, most people that call in, they're missing the point. Why are they going to charge them for the bag? Because they won't recycle them. They won't put them in the trash.
Right. Right. It may make people more cognitive of recycling.
That's right.
Okay.
And we talk about $9. You don't see that kind of crud out there.
Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, so you would take it up to $1.
I'd take it up to $1, and then maybe I wouldn't have to go up every morning and hobble around like that picking them up out of my yard.
Right. Do you hold your neighbors accountable, or when you see kids throwing stuff down? And
oh yes, I do. But when there's only one person doing it,
right,
it's not gonna make a big difference.
Right.
And a lot of these are not kids. A lot of these are adults.
Okay.
I own a corner lot, and they just drive through it and
just throw it out.
Throw it out.
Okay. All right. Well, Joe, you got any other comments?
No, that's it.
That's it. Okay. Well, Joe, thank you for your call and comment.
Thank you. Bye bye.
All right. She had her solution was to charge them $1 because this is a recycling issue. That the whole purpose of the 5-cent bags is to make you more cognitive about recycling. It's 50 cents right now. Well, actually, you'll start paying that in January. But Joe decided, hey, maybe if it's $1, it'll make people more aware. You'll appreciate it a little more. All right. Again, this morning we're talking about Dallas ISD. We're talking about the 5-cent bags. To give us a call, 972-647-1893. This is Church Information in Open Forum. So today is all about you, the people. All right. And let's go back to our phone lines. Let's go to line 4 and say good morning to Kevin. Good morning, Kevin.
Hello. How are you doing this morning?
Doing just fine, Kevin. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. Problem is self-determination. we've got all the things that we're talking about. Other folk are setting the rules, and we're playing to the rules. It's only when we get to that point to where we decide that we're going to do things ourselves that we'll move ahead. And we have some examples. The church is a good example.
Right.
Black folk worship different, so they have their own churches.
Right.
In most instances, funeral homes, the places where you bury your loved ones are black owned. You know, we can't get around this thing. All the problems that we speak so much about and we complain so much about, we keep saying they're doing this, they're doing that. So if we take they out of the equation and replace the they with ourselves, then we can fix a lot of those problems.
Okay.
I look at, and it's really a shame. I look at, which I'm not going to do anymore. I made a promise to myself I'm going to do, the NCAA tournament. You have, in football, you have predominantly white schools, Boise State, and all these other places. Places Kentucky, places a few years ago who wouldn't want blacks in there. And they're making billions of dollars off of our young athletes. While if you were to take the number one high school basketball prospect and tell him to go to Paul Quinn, they would laugh you out the door.
Yeah.
Now that, my friend, is a denial of yourself and a lack of self-respect.
I agree.
When you will give your resources to someone else, whether it's athletic or intellectual, to someone else who you know is going to use you up, and then after they get through using you, they're going to throw you out. That is not the fault of other folk. That's our fault. And until we begin to do those things, make our own, create our own businesses, we're just as intelligent and in more ways more intelligent than other folk. Until we decide we're going to do that, it's not going to change.
Yeah.
Being a man and all of those things, we will determine what that is. Once we have control of our young folk, you know, we will be able to build, and once we determine that, our marriages will be successful. Our children, we won't have the problems that we have with them. We won't have to beg Walmart and all these people to build in our own community. Once we decide to do that, then the problems that we're talking about right now, they will go away. But until that time, it's not going to happen. And it's not just in Dallas. It's everywhere in the country where you have these problems. I'm in the St. Louis area. And it's worse here than it is in Dallas because you all have an economy and we don't. So that's my take on it.
All right. Thank you for your call and comment, Kevin. Thank you for your call and comment. Again, this morning we were talking about a few different things. Dallas ISD, we're talking about the 5-cent bag rule. Also, what is a man? What is a man to you? All right. We're taking your calls this morning. This is Church Information Open Forum. So the show is all about you. We're in the second hour, so we're going to pick up. So make sure you guys call. That number is 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. And let's go back to our phone lines and let's say good morning to Sherry on line 1. Sherry, good morning. How are you?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Again. I've been sitting here and thinking about all this, and I was thinking that, our government is getting worse and worse, and they're planning on taking our young children and programming them to, to the way that things are going to be in the future. And, we're headed for that one world government. And they went up on the gas prices, $3.45 a gallon. And now they're going to charge people 5 cents more for a bag, at the store. Now, what are the trash men going to do? Now, how are we going to dump that stuff in the trash without bagging it?
Well, the trash men don't pick up what's on the ground. They pick up just what's in the trash. So
Yeah, but what if it's not bagged? Will they still pick it up?
Well, like I said, if it's inside of the dumpster, they'll pick it up. But if it's outside of the dumpster and it's just trash on the ground.
in your personal, private, trash cans.
Well, if they're authorized to pick it up, I'm pretty sure they'll pick that up. But
Now,
I think the whole bid on the 5-cent bags was to make people cognitive on recycling, to recycle the bags. They have different bins for recycling. I think most of them are blue bins, some depending on what area you're in. And what they want to do is put you to recycle. As opposed to just sending the word out, they are making people pay 5 cent extra bags. I guess to make you cognitive.
If they pick up your bags out of your personal trash can, are they going to charge you extra from the sanitation at the Dallas Water Department?
No, that haven't been discussed yet. I know they took the time slots down on. They don't come as often as they used to. But,
yeah. I don't know if they came in this area today.
Okay. All right. Well, Sherry, thank you for your call and comment this morning.
Thank you too, and I am concerned about our children.
Oh yeah, as we all
I have raised my little granddaughter to believe in the Lord, and I've tried to show her what's going to happen at the end of the world.
Right.
And that she should hang on to the Lord.
Right.
Because Jesus said, I will not let man destroy himself. He said he would intervene.
That's right.
And that's he's not going to let him, nuke the whole world.
Right. Okay.
Because
well, Sherry,
he's the one. I mean, God and him and the Holy Ghost. They're the ones that's going to destroy the world with fire.
That's right.
And then put the devil in jail, in chains for 1,000 years, and we're going to be raptured.
Right. All right, Sherry, we got to go. Thank you for your call and comments. I got some other callers coming in.
They're trying to mess with our children now, and they're trying to, All
right. Thank you, Sherry, for your call and comments.
Put them in another.
All right. Yeah, let's make sure we keep our calls to 2-minute minimum. We have to put a time limit. I got other callers who want to call in. Again, the number to call is 972-647-1893, 972-647-1893. Let's go back to our phone line and say good morning to Jay. Good morning, Jay. Two. That's what it says on here? 2. Good morning, Jay. How are you? Just left? All right. Let's go to line 3 and say good morning to Marie. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning, Barnett Jr.
How are you?
I'm blessed. And good morning to your senior father, Barnett Jr. God bless you all, and thank you for the open forum. I want to talk about the trash bags. I was born in 1950. Sometime this generation, I know every generation changes, and some things are good to learn and bring in. Some things they need to stay with the old path. Stay with some of those things like these bags. Okay, during that time, they had brown paper bags. They had boxes in the stores. Right now, it's odd is you have to pay 10 cents for a bag. If you don't have 10 cents for a bag, sometimes at these artist stores, they have boxes.
Okay.
Okay, then they got the bags, the smaller bags for about 10 cents or 5 cents and up, so they already charging for the bags.
Right.
You can't go to every store and pay for bags. I was thinking about that the other day, and if you got $50 worth of groceries, $100 worth of groceries for every bag, you're going to be paying 5 cents. That don't make no sense.
Yeah.
Now, when I go to the store, I have one of those grocery cards, and it holds a 33-gallon bag, trash bag. I push my groceries off of that. I'll take 2 of them. I'd rather do that than to buy all those bags. People don't have enough money, especially poor people and middle-class folks. The groceries are going up. They don't have enough money to be paying for all those bags. Now, what they should do, get rid of them. Now I know where all this came about, and it was good and well for for Caraway to mention that, because trash is everywhere from the bags. They used to use bags, plastic bags. Barnett Jr. They used the brown paper bags.
I remember.
They used the brown paper bags, and the brown paper bags helped a whole lot, because I'd rather use the brown paper bag in the boxes and can get how many bags I want and throw them in the trash can, and they do not blow like the plastic bag. God bless and help us all.
All right, thank you for your call and comment, Marie. Thank you for your call and comment. Again, we are talking about the DISD takeover this morning. The private entity, Support Our Schools, supported by the mayor, along with a couple of other board members, are attempting to get 25,000 vote signed petition from Dallas citizens. So also the 5-cent bag rule that'll be taking effect in January. For each additional bag that you have, you'll be charged an additional 5 cents. This is a recycling cognitive issue. So also, what is a man to you? What is a man? All right, we got a couple of callers, so make sure you guys are keeping the calls to a 2-minute minimum, so we can keep it going. And let's go back to our phone lines. Let's say good morning to line 4, Mookie. Good morning, Mookie.
Yes. Did you say Mookie?
Yes.
Good morning. I have a comment and I have a question. The man that called in and said we need to get several bags in advance.
Right.
What? I needed a clarification on. Was he talking about taking the bag or what?
Well, I think he was talking about when you go to the grocery store now, you get additional bags that some people store that you already have. And when you take those bags home, instead of throwing them away, you keep those.
Keep the ones that you've already got.
Right, keep the ones you have.
Okay,
that way when you go back.
You.
Right. Also, another caller called in and made the suggestion that there are some cloth bags that you can get.
Yes, I know about the cloth bags, because you can get them at the Dollar Tree. You can get them at Walmart. Basically, they are usually 99 cents. The comment that I have is your question, what is a man? I'm going to tell you what my version of a man is my dad, who, unlike a lot of men that have left these children that they made out in the streets, and that's why there's so many kids out of control now, my dad was a person that took on the responsibility of another man's baby, a man that impregnated probably 5 to 7 different women.
Wow. Okay.
I have some half brothers and sisters now to this date that I have never met. And I think that if there's more emphasis drawn to the men in these churches when they have these meetings for men, if they will talk to them about taking care of their kids, okay, their children. I'm not going to prolong that because, I can go in several different directions. But I also would like to know, where can you go currently to sign the petition for the Kelly Law?
For the Kelly Law?
Yes, this thing they're trying to put in place for the lady that was killed 3 weeks ago that was pregnant, and they found her in the abandoned house, and Reverend Ronald Wright is trying to get this thing together. Is there a place to go on the web or locally?
What I'll do is stay tuned. I'll get that information for you. We'll get it pulled up, and just stay tuned. We'll get it pulled up. Thank you so much for your call and comment.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Again, we were talking about a couple of things this morning. Tasha, Sabrina, Randy, hold the line. We're coming to you next. We're up against a short break. This is Church Information in Open Forum. All right. Good morning. I'm Marion Barnett Jr. hosting this morning, filling in for Marion Barnett Sr., who's out of town this morning. All right. We're talking about a few things this morning. We want to keep those phone lines going. So make sure you guys give us a call at 972-647-1893. We're talking about Dallas ISD this morning, the private entity Support Our Schools, which is backed by the mayor of Dallas, along with a couple of other board members who are sending around a petition. They need 25,000 signatures to take over Dallas ISD and get rid of the boards, get rid of the parents having a vote or a say. We've had some interesting calls this morning, so let's keep them going. 972-647-1893. We'll get back to the phone lines and say good morning to Tasha on line 2. Good morning, Tasha.
Good morning.
How are you?
Marion Barnett Jr. I'm doing well. How are you?
This is my sister.
Yes, it is.
How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
I just wanted to call and comment on the new 5-cent bag fee.
Mm-hmm.
I personally am against it. I understand what people are saying about recycling, but there is a such thing as biodegradable bags that are similar to plastic bags, but they degrade and they do not pile up in the landfills. Why was that not an option? But instead, we have to pay extra fees. You have people who are low income. You have people who are on fixed incomes, and that extra 5 cents could prevent them from buying a loaf of bread. We don't want people going hungry because they can't afford a bag.
You're right.
So I believe I think there's more to this 5 cents than just recycling.
Somebody else is getting paid behind it?
Oh, yeah. Anytime the government and businesses can get some extra money out of the people, they're all for it because the 10% of that 5 cents goes back to the businesses. The other 90% goes to the government. And it's, they're looking to raise millions of dollars by this fee. And it's in recycling, that doesn't cause people to put the plastic and paper because they're charging for both plastic and paper. That's not going to cause them to put those bags in the trash because if you start putting the bags in the trash or start recycling them, they're not going to get rid of the fee.
Right.
You're going to pay it regardless.
Right.
Okay. So I think the issue of biodegradable bags needs to be raised.
All right. Tasha, thank you for your call and comment.
You're welcome.
All right, have a good day. This is Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett Jr., hosting this morning, and we are discussing a few different things. This show is all about you this morning, so the caller. So make sure you guys call in at 972-647-1893. We're talking about Dallas ISD. We're talking about the 5 cent bag rule. Also, we're talking about what is a man to you. All right, what is a man to you? With Dallas ISD, the mayor is backing this petition that's going around. That's called Support Our Schools. Support Our Schools. It is a private entity that wants to take over the DISD, and we want to make sure people are aware that this is just a ploy, another ploy to take over our students, our children. All right. So make sure you guys are calling in. Also, April 26th is the rally at City Hall at 10 a.m. It's the rally against this takeover. So make sure you guys are there. Put it on your calendar. April 26th at 10 a.m. City Hall. Show up at 9 so we can get there early in big numbers. All right. Again, we're talking about a few different things this morning, so feel free to call in 972-647-1893. All right, let's go back to our phone lines and say good morning to line 1. Sabrina. Good morning, Sabrina. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning. How are you?
Doing just fine.
Great. My first comment is about the homeschooling. I'm against it, but what I think, because I talked to a few of my friends about the homeschool, and they're for it. So what I think is that there needs to be just as many people out there in the public that are signing a petition or trying to get a petition signed to block this, and enough resources and information out there for the parents, because evidently it's not enough out there. Also, in reference to the 5 cents per bag, I was highly upset when I heard about this, because that's not going to stop pollution and littering or any of that. So that's really unnecessary. The real issue is, or the real thing is, we all know this is about Dallas just finding another way to pocket some money. from the consumers. And I agree with the last caller. This all is about some extra money. I don't think nobody's going to starve or go hungry over the 5 cents, but it's really and truly about finding another way to get extra cash. And if it's not the 5 cents, later on in the year, it'll be something else they're going to try to charge us for. And also, as far as what a man is to me, a man has integrity, accepts responsibility, and has no excuses. And it's just not a man meaning male, that's man and woman, period, across the board, a human. So that's all I have to say today.
Now, Sabrina, you said you had a few friends that were for this petition?
Yes.
For this private institute to take over?
Yes.
Are they living in Dallas?
They are living in Dallas.
And do you know if they signed the petition already?
I don't know, but I didn't ask, but I think if they have the opportunity that they will. And I don't think that, me personally, I didn't have enough information to give them to, you try to open them up or open their minds out. And I know they don't have enough resources to understand how this really could affect them.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for your call and comment, Sabrina.
You're welcome.
Again, we're talking about a few different things this morning. Dallas ISD, 5-sit bag, and also what is a man to you? So make sure you guys are calling in. 972-647-1893. This show is all about the caller this morning. So make sure you guys are calling in, giving us your call and comment. Reverend Wright, we had a question posed to you. So if you can call in, Reverend Wright, caller wanted to get some information on one of the crimes that was committed, the Kelly petition going around, they stated. So if you can't give us some information, please call in and give us that information, all right? And let's go back to our phone lines and say good morning to line 3. Randy. Good morning, Randy. How are you?
Good morning, my brother. How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. And yourself?
I'm doing great. Neck hurts a little bit, but the sun's shining, so I think I'm going to be okay.
You'll be all right.
Hey, I've already said several times what I think about the school board. The school issue. This is the DISD Alamo. This is the last chance that the parents in Dallas have to stand up for their kids. I can't believe it's gotten this far to where it is an Alamo situation, but obviously it has. We have to work too much. We got too much on our mind. We can't go to the PTA meeting. We can't go to the school board meeting, but we're going to complain about how they're doing their kids wrong. So, AISD, it's your Alamo, and you better stand up and defend yourself, or you're going to have somebody else tell you what to do. And the 5-cent thing, I hope Dale's listening, because Dale, this is wrong, dude. Just like the deal when you had the pools closed in the city of Dallas, half of the pools in South Dallas. We're sitting here complaining about a 5-cent tax on a bag when they're telling us they got $20 or $40 million in excess trying to bring the Republican convention here. So we should be complaining about, if you got $20 or $40 million excess, why ain't our pools getting back open that they've been closed for almost 5 years now, so our kids will have something to do in the summertime? Instead, we complaining about a 5-cent tax when we should be saying the thing that nobody wants to hear, because like everybody's saying, the 5-cent tax on the bag is going to be going to the low-income people, because they're just trying to find another way to raise revenue without saying the dreaded word. And that is, we got to raise property taxes.
Right.
And see, the people that have money, the little 5-cent thing ain't going to be about nothing, because it's way less than what they would have to pay if they raised their property taxes by 2 cents.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? It's all a way that the politicians when is the last time you can remember that property taxes went up? When's the last time you can remember that they raised our property taxes?
Wow. Yeah.
You can't remember when, can you?
No.
That's what I'm saying. They do all these fees and things where we sit back and let it happen to us when we should be up saying, hey, you know what? We need to raise the property taxes. That will fix this stuff. And we won't have to keep the individual groups won't have to be keep getting a fee on them because your dog's on the chain or you want a bag. If they really wanted to get rid of plastic bags, they'd do just what Austin did and said, no more bags. No more bags in our town. It's that simple. Instead of trying to manipulate people, they'll open the dang swimming pools is what I'm trying to say.
I'll talk to y'all later.
All right, thank you for your call and comment, Randy. Thank you for your call and comment. It's always enlightening. Again, we're talking about Dallas ISD this morning. We're talking about the 5-cent bag rule. Also, what is a man to you? What is a man to you? With DISD, there's a private entity. Support our schools. Don't be fooled by the name. Support our schools. This is backed by the mayor along with some other board members to get rid of the board trustees, as well as take over the schools, take away your vote, take away your options, take away your voting rights. All right. So make sure you guys are calling in and commenting on this. We want to make sure the Dallas citizens are aware of what's going on. We just had a caller call in and say their friend supported, but she couldn't fight it too much because she wasn't informed enough. So whatever information you can pull out of that we haven't heard this morning, please give us a call at 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. Also, the rally is April 26th at 10 a.m. City Hall. This is in response to this private institute trying to take over DISD. That's April 26th at City Hall, 10 a.m. All right. Let's go back to our phone lines this morning and go to line 4 with Dennis. Good morning, Dennis. How are you?
Good morning, Rev Barnett.
This is Junior. How are you?
You hear me?
Yeah, I heard you.
Rev Barnett, I'm the guy who done over 25 years in prison, right? Because, the good Lord led me to call you, right? I wanted to speak with you about an incident that took place on March 4th, right over there by Garden Road and Boyne Bridge, right? My girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, right? And when he came in there, I went to visit her. He came in there, he swung at me, so I kind of got up. I was trying to defend myself, right? So I was just, we ended up putting him out, right? So he said I beat him up on a porch, right? Whatever. So he went back home over there in Oak Cliff off of Tioga Street. And he called the police, and he said that I assaulted him, right? And she keeps saying that he didn't tell the police that I assaulted him. He didn't call the police, but his mother told my girlfriend, right, that her son came home and called the police. And when she said that I assaulted him out on the porch, right? But no police didn't come there back there at that address over there by Garden Road where I was at. But I ended up getting some type of citation ticket through the mail saying I got to pay $431, and they said I got to appear in court, a pre-trial hearing on April the 14th, and but I was thinking that this is not right, but the good Lord told me to call you and leave my number with you, right? I don't want to discuss no further about this. He told me to leave my number with you, which is 214.
Well, Dennis, I don't want to put it out. I don't want to put it out online. What I'm gonna do is put you on hold, and we'll get your number, and we'll get someone in contact with you. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your call this morning, Dennis. All right, again, this morning, this is church information in open forum. This is your time to dialogue. Call in and give us a call and tell us about what's going on. I threw out a couple of topics. We're talking about Dallas ISD, the private entities support our schools, backed by the mayor along with other board members, or attempting to take over our schools through a petition signed by 25,000 Dallas citizens. Don't be fooled by this petition. Let's make sure everyone is aware, cognitive of what this means, how this could affect our children, the students that are still there. All right. So this morning we're talking to you guys. The number to call 972-647-1893. 972-647-1893. If you're on hold, just hold 1 second. We're going to take one more call before we go to break, but we'll get right to you. So let's go to our phone lines this morning and say good. Let's go to line 2 and say good morning to. You want to remain anonymous. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Junior. How you doing?
Just fine, yourself.
All right. Really, you'll come in this call to encourage you. You're doing a superb job on this morning, and I know your dad is probably up listening, just tickle pink at you doing his show this morning. And we just pray that these callers keep these calls 2 minutes so we can keep hearing what's going on in our community.
Exactly.
Thank you so much, and have a great day.
All right, thank you for your call and comment. Again, we're talking about Dallas ISD this morning. We're talking about the 5-cent bag rule. Should the citizens of Dallas have to pay an extra 5 cents per bag when you go to the grocery store this time next year. There was a couple of callers called in and gave a couple of tips on what you could do. You could go ahead and save a lot of bags when you go to the grocery store now, as well as buy the cloth bags as well. Also, the biodegradable bags. We don't understand why this wasn't proposed in response to the fight. Instead of doing a 5 cent bag, do the biodegradable bags, okay? Since we were talking about recycling. And will 5 cents help you recycle better? 5 cents per bag help you recycle better. This is just another way for the city of Dallas to get paid. This is the council that has proposed this. So let's make sure we are aware of everything that's going on in our city. Sometimes the biggest crooks are at the top, and they're just trying to do their best to manipulate their way to either get more money or to persuade the crowd to think a certain way to get an agenda across. All right? So let's make sure we call in, comment this morning. If you got any information about the DISD, about the 5 cent bag rule, feel free to give us a call. 972-647-1893. I know on this particular show, the callers are very educated, they're articulate, they're passionate, and we appreciate your call and comments, because everything you say, it's not that you're not telling the truth, it's not that you are telling the truth, but you're passionate about what you believe in. You're putting the word out there, and we appreciate that on this show. We're up against a short break, so if you're on hold, just hold 1 second. This is Church Information in Open Forum. Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the last hour, the last 20 minutes of this show, down to the final hour of the show. I'm Marion Barnett, and this is Church Information in Open Forum. This morning we're talking about a lot of different things, but before we get started on that, I just want to send a last shout out and a happy birthday to my mother, a special lady, Diane Barnett. Her birthday was yesterday, celebrated, and I just want to tell her I love her, and she is very special, dear to my heart. Also, my daughter, whose birthday is April 2nd, Wednesday. She's also special and dear to my heart as well. Happy birthday to both of you all. All right. This morning we're talking about Dallas ISD, the private institute. They're calling this Support Our Schools, but don't be tricked by the name. This is supported by our mayor to take over the Dallas Independent School District. We need to get the word out on exactly the information needed to make sure everyone is aware of what this means for our students, our children. So if you have like a Facebook page, if you have some kind of social media, anything for the younger people to get the word to the younger people, let's start utilizing it. Facebook, some people have Twitter, and there are other social events and things going on that we can utilize to get the word out to the younger people, because this is a ploy to trick those who are not aware. Your caller called in earlier and stated that they had people down at the bus stop petitioning people. And if you say support our schools, of course people are probably going to sign a petition who are not aware of this ploy and this trick. So we need to get the word out as quick as possible. So if you got any suggestions, feel free to call me in. If you want to comment on it, call in. Also, we're talking about the 5 cent bag rule. This time next year, you'll be paying 5 cents additional per bag per grocery, all right? So we need to talk about this and tell us your call and comments, all right? And let's say good morning. Let's go back to our phone line and say good morning to Renee on line 1. Good morning, Renee. Renee? No longer there? Okay. All right. Let's go to our phone line and say good morning to Curtis. Good morning, Curtis. 3. Excuse me. Good morning, Curtis.
Good morning, Brother Barnett.
How are you? Good.
Oh, I'm great. Hey, listen, this is a continuation from a couple of weeks ago. Me and your father had this dialogue together about the DISD situation. So I'm gonna come at you a little different with it, if you don't mind.
Okay.
You know, I hear you telling people to go on Facebook and don't accept the old joke about the what we're hearing. But yet, I'm not hearing the full picture of what the problem is. You know, the title, Save Our Schools. You know, I have a problem with that in itself, Save Our Schools. It should be about Save Our Kids. You know what I mean? The building is a building, but if you have a building with no kids, I mean, that's no good.
But DISD, I'm talking, I'm 50 plus. I've been around DISD. I'm a product of DISD. I've had 2 kids that I've raised that came out of DISD, and it's been in shambles since day one. From my generation.
Right.
So, when I see somebody, whoever it may be, white, black, green, or blue, that has a different idea, a perspective of how we need to move DISD in a different realm, then I'm open for that. I think we as black people, we because of the color, or because we have one of our constituents that stands up and say, this is what we need to do, we tend to want to just run because that's what they're saying before we get the facts. So what I'm asking you today is, can you give me some facts, like the lady that called a few minutes ago? I need some facts that's going to help me be able to tell other people that you shouldn't sign this form, not just because someone black said we shouldn't sign it, or because someone white said we should. I need to know some facts on how this is going to hurt our kids and how it's going to help our kids. I think that should be the question, because I hear so much about what we should do, we shouldn't do, but yet instead, we just had 3 or 4 kids that lost their lives a couple of weeks ago. No one's talking about save our children. We're talking about follow the dollar, and I have a problem with that. Let's worry about saving our children and let the other folks care about the dollar.
Okay, well, I'll answer your question, and thank you for your call and comment, Curtis. To respond to your question is some facts. The fact of it is as a parent, as a Dallas citizen, you don't ever want your vote taken away. You don't want your voice taken away from you. With a private entity supported by the mayor, along with these board members who are some pretty big wigs and have a lot of money, they want to control certain situations. Again, this is, if you follow the dollar, you'll find the man. This is about $1.2 billion that we want pushed going towards our students to enhance our students' education. We need that. That should be the focal point of our kids, is the focal point. But behind the scenes, we need to fight for our kids in other ways. And by having a private entity taking over, you're taking our fight away. You're saying we have no choice. Now granted, DISD has been in shambles for a while. They have been in shambles, but the people have kept it going. We've had superintendents that were pushed off the board because of the community. We have had teachers taken out due to parents standing up in the community. But when you take the community away from the kids, and then the state, not the state, this private institute can do whatever they want, that's not a good sign. That's just the start of things. That'll spark something extra that we don't want to see happen.
Well, do we have a model already where that's went wrong? I'm sorry for cutting you off. I mean, I hear what you're saying, and that makes sense, but, is this new money or is this some old money? Because if it's old money, then it has not been, we've had representation. We went out and voted for all of our friends. They set up and argue and bicker and complain, and the kids still get nothing. The kids are still in shambles. The kids are still killing each other. The kids are still disrespectful. So you're telling me if we now bring some money into the game, then we're going to change the complexity of what's happening with our children? Is that what I hear you saying?
No, with that part, that's not even addressing this issue. When you talking about kids being disrespectful, kids gambling, kids killing each other, that's a community-based issue that we have to address with our community. We have to come together as people and say, hey, listen, these are the things we're not going to tolerate anymore with our community. You can't take it to the board of trustees. You can't take it to a private institute. That's a totally separate issue. What we're talking about with this private institute is behind the scenes. It is towards the money, that $1.2 billion.
Right, and I think that's where the confusion comes in, Brother Barnett, is that people are rallying about money and less about the children. and I'll hang up with that. Thank you, sir.
All right, no problem. Thank you for your calling, come in, Curtis. Thank you for your calling, come in. Let's keep it going on our phone lines. But before we go, just remember, there's a rally April 26th at City Hall, 10 a.m. in response to this private entity to support our schools. So make sure you show up, show out. You'll be educated. You'll showing numbers that, hey, either you're for it or against it, but just show up. All right? And let's say good morning to Imani on line 2. Good morning, Imani. How are you? Imani? Not there? Okay. Let's go to line 1 and say good morning to Jay. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning. How you doing, brother, buddy?
Doing just fine. How are you?
Fine. I want to talk about what is it to be a man.
What do you do to what?
To be a man.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, every male is a man. But what does it take to be a kingdom man? That's the most important thing.
Okay.
God says, Adam, where are you?
Mm-hmm.
And that is the main point right there. All men, we've left what we're supposed to be about, God's business, and just run off. Right. Until we can get on our knees and pray to God and follow His actions. Men cannot become kingdom men just by talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
That is why we have so many divorces, unruly children, and everything, because men have left their post. They've not done what they're supposed to do.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for your calling comment, Jay. Thank you for your calling comment.
Thank you, Brother Barnett. Okay.
All right. This little information, we're talking about Dallas size this morning. We're talking about the 5-cent bags. We're talking about what is a man. All right. Again, we're down to the last 5 to 6 minutes of the show. But DISD, the home rule was passed in Texas in 1995, but it never was implemented before in Texas. Dallas will be the first place that, if this rule is passed, where it will be implemented. All right, we don't want to be a test pilot for this. Okay, so that's just a little nugget for you guys. Let's go to our job line this morning. Let's go to our job line and say good morning to Greg. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing fine, and yourself?
I'm doing just fine. Are there any jobs out there?
There are some jobs out here this morning on our SAT job line. The Solutions and Actions Today job line brought to you every Saturday morning during church information and open forum here on Knon 89.3, the voice of the people. This morning on the job line, we have Micro Center is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.microcenter.com. Once again, that's Micro Center is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.microcenter.com. New Haven Moving Equipment is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply online at www.homeease. That's HOME.EEASE.ADP.com. Once again, that web address is www.homeease.adp.com. Johnston Supply is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply in person at 3520 West Miller Road, Suite 120, Garland, Texas, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Once again, that's Johnston Supply is looking for warehouse personnel. They're asking you to apply at 3520 West Miller Road, Suite 120, Garland, Texas. That's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kyocera is looking for warehouse positions. They're asking you to apply at www.smartgridreports.com. Once again, that web address is www.smartgridreports.com. GDK Incorporation is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.gdkn.com. Once again, that web address is www.gdkn.com. Shield Healthcare is looking for customer service representatives. They're asking you to apply online at www.shieldhealthcare.com. Once again, the web address is www.shieldhealthcare.com. If you are a child-loving, patient, energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. Once again, if you are a child-loving, patient, and energetic individual and would like to work in a daycare setting, the number for inquiry is 972-290-4995. If you are a person affected by addiction and is needed needs with assistance with their recovery efforts, or an ex-offender trying to make that transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job search. The number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Once again, if you are a person that's affected by addiction and need assistance with job searches, or in need of affected by addiction and need assistance with recovery, and or an ex-offender trying to make the transition back into mainstream society and need assistance with job search, the number for inquiry is 214-634-2722. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. Let me repeat that. Today is a good day if you're looking for a job to find one. The late, great Bob Marley once said, get up, stand up for your right. Get up, stand up. Don't give up the fight. And if I may weigh in on the conversation at hand.
Go ahead.
That is home rule. Why would you give up your voice in electing someone to have someone appointed? Y'all don't fall for the okie doke. Don't get buffoon, run amok, any of that. This is a power grab. They're trying to take the power away from the people. You have the individual voice. I just heard the caller before you who mentioned the school shooting. The school has very little to play in that. The school cannot fix problems in the home. Mm-hmm. The primary place for education, the first initial place for education, is the home. Right. We must understand that. Problems in the home cannot be fixed by the school. Do not give up your resources and your authority and your ability to let your voice be heard for some smooth-talking folk who want to appoint people that say they know how you think and know how you feel. Don't walk head-on right back into separate but equal. That's what we're headed for. That's what this whole thing is about. The whole charter system. Don't walk back into separate but equal. If you don't know, charter schools are able to pick and choose the students they want. They don't take everybody. Your kid can live across the street from a charter school, and they don't have to accept it.
Yep.
Public schools have to take and have facilities for any and everybody that's within their respective area. Make your public systems work. Get involved and make your public systems work. Don't just hand over your authority and your tax dollars to someone in the name of they're going to educate your kid. Don't do that.
That's right.
That's taxation without representation. That's what this country says it was founded on. That's what we fought against. We were being taxed and we didn't have a voice. If you go to this home rule, you won't have a voice. They'll appoint somebody that says that they have your voice.
Good. Well, Greg, we thank you. We always thank you for your call and comment. We thank you for your job line. We thank you for your insight.
All right, no problem. You're welcome.
All right. Have a good day. All right, let's go back to our phone. Let's take one more call for the day. This is the last caller. Got a minute and a half. Good morning, Erica. How are you? Erica?
Oh, okay. Hi.
How are you?
He just said everything I was going to say. Why would you let someone take your voice? We're saying that this is a new idea, try something new. Absolutely not. If your voice is being taken away, I think that's the craziest thing if we allow this to happen to our students. This is about our students. It's about money, but it's about our students. If you allow this to happen, if Dallas allows a private institution come in and take over for our own children, we're allowing them to control us. You will not be able to say where your child could go or do. If something happens at that school, guess what? You're out of luck. You're just out of luck.
Right.
You can't do anything about it. So I think it's the craziest thing. Do not sign that petition.
Right. Thank you for your call and comment, Erica.
Thank you.
All right. We out of time. But again, I'd use the analogy of this. This station is the voice of the people. If you let a private institute take over it, that means you will not be heard. You will not be heard. So please, let's be aware of what this petition means. All right. Again, April 26th, 10 a.m. City Hall is the rally for this. That's in response to this petition. So let me make sure you're there. And next Saturday, Mary and Barnett Sr. will be back. We're praying for his safe return. All right. This is Church Information Open Forum. I'm Marion Barnett Jr., your hosting this morning. I hope you have a blessed day.
KNON 89.3 FM in Dallas and Fort Worth, the voice of the people. Business owners, tell KNON's listeners about your business. You can put your business or event on KNON. KNON currently has space available to run announcements for you. Tell KNON's listeners about your goods, services, nightclub, concert, or event. Help keep the voice of the people on the air while putting your information on the air. KNON's been named the #1 radio station in Dallas by both the Dallas Observer and D Magazine. Put your business with Dallas's #1 station. Call now for more information at 214-828-9500, extension 227, or extension 233. For more information, go to KNON.org and click on the Run Spots on KNON page. It's a great way for your business to support community radio while letting more people know about you.